Okay, I have a real treat for you here today. There's a couple of outlets we're going to be covering in this video here, both of them from the same home, from a customer that we had down in Lake Bonavista. Now, these two particular switches that I will be covering here were not removed by us, but by the customer himself. He noticed there was a problem. I guess kind of hard to miss that one. And this one came from their kitchen, and he decided to pull it out and repair it himself. So bad news there, and as you can see, this is very bad news in here. This is where the occurrence happened. Now, you can see that these are loose, so when they were originally installed, they were installed very, very loose, or loose enough so that the arc started happening between the contacts here and this aluminum wire here. And it caused arcing, and sure enough, you can see the burning happening as a result of that. And the burning so much, in fact, that these two wires are basically fused together here. They won't come apart, they're melted together. And so this is on one side, and it occurred on the other side as well. Now typically when we do see these things, they usually only happen with one contact, or at most with one side. But in this case, it was bad news, it happened on both sides. So all three contacts were badly put together. This one here is the ground, so that one's no problem, doesn't show up anything there, and it shouldn't. But this is where the power is coursing through this particular outlet, and sure enough, that's where the problem happened. So he went ahead and pulled this thing out and fixed it himself. But here's the one that's quite interesting. This one came from his dining room, and as you can see, it is very evident that there was a fire with this, even to the naked eye. Even without pulling it out of the wall, it was very evident. And indeed, he did tell us that this one had started his curtains smoking. So his curtains were burned because it was behind the curtains in his dining room. And of course, the same thing here, you know, that this is all the problems here. You can see that even though this whole structure is moving, but the wire itself is loose. And so back when it was originally installed, like the other one, it wasn't quite torqued or twisted down, screwed on with the right weight. And now it's loose and started to arc and cause the fire. Now the other interesting thing about this one here is you can see that all these wires are bare. Well, the reason why that is because they heated up so much that the coating, the plastic coating here, or what's called the insulation, melted, or not well melted, or certainly at least dried out, and it just fell off in chunks. And if I were to go ahead and do that here now, it would go ahead and do that. But it's very brittle, it's very hard. It should be soft and pliable. But anyway, this fellow, he went ahead and he said, okay, I'll fix it himself. Now, we didn't check the outlet on the audit with this one, but we did check this one. And of course, because he's not an electrician, we had to repair it. Although he was a geophysicist, so you know, not a dumb fellow by any stretch of the imagination. But he didn't know how to fix it, so we had to replace it right away. So what he did is he hired us to go ahead and make the replacements. But unfortunately called up after he went ahead and told us to go ahead and do it, and canceled, because his son said he would take care of it. Now, I don't know what it is about people thinking that they can take care of these types of problems themselves, because this one was installed, these ones were installed by an electrician under the guidance and supervision of a master electrician. Now, granted, it was, you know, probably about 40 years ago, 35, 40 years ago, but still, it was an electrician that put these in here. So now someone who is a non-electrician is going to repair it. And unfortunately, this can cause problems even worse than what they had. So, anyway, just thought we'd show you that. Have a great day.